everybody. We just finished reading all about farms and the specific jobs that some farms have. So this story today is called 3 Hens and a Peacock. And we talked about what animals and what their jobs mean on a farm, right? So I think there might be some confusion in this story. So this is called 3 Hens and a Peacock, and it's written by Lester Laminack and illustrated by Henry Cole. Things were quiet on the Tucker farm. The cows chewed their cud, the hens clucked and pecked and laid out their eggs. The old hound stretched out on the porch, watching and listening. Once in a while, someone would stop by to buy some tomatoes or corn or perhaps some milk. Nothing unusual happened here until a peacock showed up. The cows and the hens and the old hound kept right on doing what they had always done. But the peacock had never lived on a farm, so he had no idea what to do. So he spread his fancy feathers and set to shrieking. Eventually, the peacock wandered down the road. When the cars whizzed by, he shook his feathers and cried out in his loudest voice. Of course, folks stopped by to take a closer look. Have you ever heard a peacock yell? They are quite noisy. Day after day, more folks stopped to admire the peacock, and they bought all the tomatoes, eggs, corn, and milk. The business on the Tucker farm was booming. Everyone seemed happy to have visitors stopping by. But trouble was brewing in the hen house. The hens were squawking and clucking and flapping their wings. We do all the work around here. I'd like to see that peacock lay one single egg. Exactly, he just struts around screaming. I suppose fancy feathers are more important than laying eggs. That lazy peacock gets all the attention, and we do all the work. Are those hens being very nice to him? If that peacock's a boy, can that boy lay eggs? No. The peacock had heard every word. For days he moped about, moaning and groaning. I wish I could be more useful around here, clucked one hen, and the others ruffled their feathers. The old hound stretched and slowly raised his head. Why not let the peacock stay here to be useful while you hens take your glamorous job down the road? Do you think the hens are going to be able to get cars to stop by their farm? The 3 hens began clucking to one another. What a wonderful plan! Yes, it's a fabulous idea. Oh, ladies, we simply must fancy up our feathers tonight, and nothing but our brightest beads and bangles and bows. We'll stop traffic for sure. Why, you girls know I can strut with the best of them. The peacock perked up. Let's do it, he declared. Tomorrow I'll stay here and sit on a nest and cluck. And we'll get all gussied up, said the hens. We will be so glamorous. Do you have a good feeling about this? Do you think that peacock's going to be able to lay eggs? At sunrise the next morning, the hens strutted down the road. The peacock marched right into the hen house and poked his hen inside. The hens flocked by the road waiting for a car. When they saw one approaching, they clucked and squawked and flapped their wings in a flurry of feathers. But every car just drove right by. The peacock sucked in his tummy and wiggled from left to right, trying to squeeze through the tiny hen house door. His front was half in and his back was half out. I don't think he's going to fit in there. Down the road, those hens tried every chicken trick they knew, and still no car stopped. Finally, the peacock made it into the hen house. He held his breath and pushed with all his might, but no matter how hard he tried, he could not lay one single egg, not a one. The old hound stretched out on the porch, watching and listening. What's that peacock doing in the hen house? Asked Farmer Tucker. Who knows, said Mrs. Tucker. And what are those hens doing down the road? Not one of them are up here laying eggs. Well, the way things are going, we aren't likely to have anyone buying eggs today, said Farmer Tucker. We need that peacock down there stopping cars. So the peacock did have a purpose. Do you know what it was? The exhausted hens were all clucked out, and every feather was out of place. What a day. We couldn't get one single car to stop. It's true, most of them did not even slow down. So the hens thought they could do the peacock's job, and the peacock thought that he could do the hen's job. Did it work out? The peacock met the hens as they trudged up the road. "I can tell you, I'm no good at laying eggs," he said. "I'm just not meant for it." One hen nodded. "I put on my stellar strut and I couldn't even stop a single car," she said. "I have to hand it to you, Fancy Feathers. Your job is way harder than it looks." The other hens agreed, and the peacock looked relieved. So the hens marched back to the hen house, and the peacock strutted down the road. The old hen stretched out on the porch, watching and listening, and all things were quiet again on the Tucker farm. I hope you liked that story. The peacock, that silly peacock, thought he could lay eggs, and those silly hens thought they could stop cars. But they each had a very special job on the farm, didn't they? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.